Hello Flosstube! My name's Natalia and this is my channel, OfficialMermaidsCove, where I share my love of cross-stitching and all of my stitchy goodies that I've been working on. Welcome back to any returning subscribers, and if you're new, hopefully you'll enjoy what I have to share today. And if you like seeing some of the things that I have to show and you are interested in more videos, you can hit the subscribe button to let you know when I put out new videos, and feel free to like the video and leave a comment. This is going to be my monthly wrap-up for June. Today is officially the last day of June. I still have a little bit of stitching to do, but I've hit all my monthly goals, and so I just wanted to go ahead and share my progress. I'm going to go ahead and just show what I've been working on since the last time I recorded. We can start with my daily piece, and then we'll go over my haul. I have a little bit, and my stitching numbers and some mentions. Okay, so my daily piece is this one. It's a gold collection dimensions kit called Angel of Elegance. I am using all the kit materials. I'm trying to get a little bit of stitching day by day. I actually got quite a bit of stitching this weekend, so I didn't, and I hit my goal for the month, so I held off on continuing and chose to work on some other things. But this is where it is at now. I have switched over the Q-snap to work on the bottom left of her dress. I finished the bottom right corner as far as the full cross. I haven't done any of the back stitching yet, but I've officially moved over to working on this part. It's gonna have this gold emblem here at the front, so it's gonna be a lot of confetti stitching and color changes, which I'm already getting here on some of the edge, but that'll be this part. And I'm doing a lot of white on white stitching again. This is stitched on a 14 count white Ada that came with the kit. And so far, dimensions kits are known for doing like different threads to give in different areas of the pattern to give it dimension. But so far I've just stitched 2 strands on the Ada, which would be typical for at least how I stitch on 18 count. So no dimensional half cross or anything yet. But yep, since the last time you've seen this, I put 443 stitches in, and it's officially at 46% according to what I put into Pattern Keeper, which of course doesn't take into account any of the back stitching. But I'm super happy about this. This has gotten, I think I started this back in 2021, so it's gotten a lot more stitching this year than it has like the past 3 years together. So I'm very happy with that, and I will try to keep getting a little bit of progress every day, or mostly every day next month, so I can keep going with this. My monthly goal for this was, I think 3,000 stitches, and I hit that, so yay. The other one that I have to show you is a finish, so I don't have to show you the chart. This is my Mirabilia, my Mermaid of the Pearls. This is an out of print chart, unfortunately, but you can still find it for resale. I have seen people post it before. But I have stitched this on a 16 count Ada that I have dyed myself, and I have finished all the beading. Look at her, she's so sparkly. Look at all the beads. And like that bright green here, that is all acrylic. This whole patch right here is just acrylic, so you can imagine how sparkly that is in person. And all those beads. I attached the treasures. I used a trick by Danielle Stitcherista on Flosstube. She also does diamond painting, but she showed where you can just use a bead to secure it. So I've done that with this one and these treasures here. And then I went back, the rest of these beads are attached with 1 strand of hats of stitch, and then the bigger beads are, I took a second pass, and I just used a thread that matched the color of the fabric. That's how I usually bead, just a DMC floss. But yes, she looks so pretty. Very happy with her. So since the last time I showed you, I have done over 2,190 2,139 stitches. She is at 100%. That was all just beads. I just was beading her. She had over 2,000 stitches in her, so it took me like 3 days, maybe a little over 3 days to beat her all. But I'm so happy with how she turned out. My husband had kitted this up for me for my birthday in 2023, and now I finally have her done. So I'll have to start looking for a frame to display her. The next one is also a finish. This was a kit that my sister had gotten for me. She had gone to Japan. Oh, here it is. Sorry for the crinkles. This is a Cosmo kit. Obviously the writing is in Japanese, so it says this kit is number 522403, but it is koi fish. It came with the frame. So, and it's stitched on a 14 count opalescent Ada. So it's got nice sparkle to it, and it also has a silver metallic in the water. And it was a nice cute little finish. And I finished this up today. Since the last time you saw this, I put in 1,297 stitches, and that includes the back stitching. So this is officially at 100%. And it was pretty easy to finish. I guess I did not pin this. It gave you like some mat board to lace it onto. I don't know, maybe they had lacing instructions, and the instructions, they were in Japanese. I just kind of did my best with this. I'm not a perfect lacer, but I tried to get it as centered as possible. And then you just put the backing board, and I just secured it with the tabs back. So, very cute finish. Very happy with how that turned out. And it's sparkly. So cute. A lot of fishies. Since the last time I saw you, I had a new start. Let's see, I'm going to try using different editing software to edit this video. So let's see if you see a picture of what it'll look like here. And this is my new start. I started this for June 26th. People were celebrating that as Stitch Day since June 26th is 626, which is the experiment name for Stitch and Lilo and Stitch. And I have stitched 2,500. I've actually done more than this because I just stitched on it today. So this is not counting the stitching I got on it today, which is just this blue section here. But the nose and the part of the eye here, that was 2,565 stitches, which already puts this at 14%. If I didn't get a chance to put it in the picture, it's Stitch. It'll look very cute, and it's got some hearts above them. I'm stitching this on a 14 count Ada. This is a bread cover. If you've seen those, I got this at like a thrift store. An Ada bread cover, and then I dyed it like a lavender purple. And so I pulled that out, and I've been stitching on this in hand, and I like how this is turning out a lot. So probably thinking about maybe finishing this into a cushion, and I'm still have to finish my husband's Grinch pillow into a cushion as well. So we're going to have a bunch of cartoon themed pillows in the house apparently. But yes, I'm enjoying stitching on this. It's really fun. There's nice big blocks of color, and then I will go back in and do the smaller bits of color in between. And if I didn't say, I am stitching it 2 strands on that 14 count Ada. And then my last new start is the one that I started for my birthday. I've shown it before on my Flosstube. I will try to insert a picture here. Again, if it's not shown here, it's the Little Mermaid sampler by Lina. I bought this off of her Etsy store. And I am stitching this with a Mosaic silk in the color navy. I'm doing 1 strand over 1 thread on this 32 count lavender Luana that I got. I believe I got it from Annabella's when I went to one of the cross-stitch stores while I was in North Carolina. But this is all I have right here, this corner. That was 558 stitches that I put in so far, and we are at 3.5% with this. I'm doing a cropped version. Oh, you can hear my oven timer going off. Sorry about that. But I'm doing a cropped version of this, so it's not going to be the full design. It's going to be the mermaid, and then with the outer border, because I thought it was really pretty. So I'm mainly going to be stitching the mermaid, and then this border all the way around, along with the border that she already has around her. So yeah, I'm really happy with how that's looking so far, and I hope to get more progress on this. One second. Okay, I'm back. I just wanted to show you I finished my baby blanket. I just have to finish sewing in the ends here. But it doesn't have edging to it, so it's officially done. I used 2 skeins of this yarn. Just trying to see if I still had the cover. Nope, okay. So I have to sew in this end. And I've already sewn in this one. Yeah. But it is plenty long. And hopefully my cousin will like it. So wanted to show you that. And that is everything that I've worked on since my last video. My stitch counts for this past week, week 26, was 6,920 stitches. With the stitching that I've done today on my Stitch Love, I think I've gotten like over 100 stitches on that. I have officially hit my goal of 31,000 stitches in the month of June total, so I'm happy about that. I have things that I still want to start, but I have a lot of full coverage projects, and I've been trying to find a way to balance it. I've been trying to keep track of like my full stitch balance, like the balance that I need on all the WIPs that I have total. And I've decided what I'm going to do is I'm going to cap my full coverage at 1,000,000 stitches total, and then my other WIPs are going to be 100,000 stitches, just arbitrarily. And I don't quite have enough margin to start a new full coverage, but I do want to start one of my other mermaids that's a tilt and chart piece. So I do want to start working more on some of my other full coverages so I could start that. And I am counting the stitch that I started as a full coverage piece. So right now my full coverage balance is 957,808, and then my other WIP balance for the other things, that includes my smalls and my mirrors and all that other stuff, that's at 99,359 stitches. So that's where we're at with that. I had 2 no stitch days in June, 4 new starts total. I started Deep Waters, the koi fish that I got to finish, the stitch, and then my birthday start, the Little Mermaid sampler. I got 3 finishes in. I finished Periwinkle Mermaid, Mermaid of the Pearls, and my koi fish. And I have stitched on 7 WIPs out of the 18 that I ended up with at the end of this month. So, very happy about that. And I did fill out my calendar so you can see everything that I stitched on for the past few weeks. I did want to go a little bit in depth on my mirror. So for this one, I used the call for beads for the most part, except like the ice beads that they had. There's like these clear silver beads. I used Delicas. I will say this is a 16 count Ada. I did notice that it made a difference. There was some crowding in some of the beads. I think I noticed it most here, where you have a lot of them like next to each other in her fin. These were actually pretty well spaced out. You can go back to my previous videos to see how like there's a lot of diagonal spacing in between what are the metallics that are stitched in and the regular DMC floss, so they sit pretty nicely. But there were a couple areas where I did have to work to get them to lay nicely. So if you don't want to have to worry about that, I would say use a 14 count or 28 count. So I use this is different. But then I used all the other called for Mill Hill beads. And I had the called for metallics. I think, let me get this all out of the way. So I used all the treasures. It called for this heart treasure, and then this 3 of these. Move this up for you. 3 of these, like round, sparkly treasures. I did end up using all of those. I used quite a bit of those glass pebble beads, the larger beads here, but there's still plenty left. You only need one pack of those purple rosy beads, the 2025s. That's true. The green beads, there were 3 packages of these. I did use up the first one, and I had enough of the second one, and I didn't even break into, like you can see this is closed, the third one. I did get close to here, so if you do tend to be the person to spill or maybe lose some beads, maybe it would work to get the third one, but the way it worked out for me, I only really needed 2. And then for the Krennic, they only asked for 1 spool of the 101, and that's all I needed. I did notice that if you didn't have that, the DMC silver filament is pretty close. So that would be what I would recommend as a substitution. They also called for Krennic number 684. I did have to break into the second spool of this, and I used an entire spool up. So the 2 spools that they call for of that makes sense. The 2 spools that they call for of the 1432, in my experience, I did not need 2. I just needed 1. But I have this extra one that I'm sure will be called for in another mermaid. Now, the 3 packages of these pearl beads, I ended up using all 3 of them, and I wasn't spilling beads. You know, I was trying to use everything that I had and being very, very careful, and I still ended up cutting a little short. You can see here I filled in some of the ice beads. There were supposed to be some more pearl beads here. It's not really noticeable, and I'm not super concerned about it or irritated about it, but I will say 3 was not enough. I came a little bit short. And there was like a good, I mean, if you can tell here, like that's a good 10 beads that I still needed. So it might be worth getting another pack. Or if you sub it out with Delicates or something, maybe if you get, you know, a whole tube, you'll have enough for that. So some things to keep in mind for if you want to, or if you're thinking you have this in your stash and you're thinking of working on her. So I just want to make sure I mention that before I put her away until I frame her. And I'll show you that. Haul. I went to 2 different stores. One was my local thrift store. This is the fabric that I was using. Yeah, it is Annabella's. It's one of the fabrics that I bought at their store. Okay, so this is the stuff that I got from Smart. I found this cute little counted cross stitch mini stocking. It says it's a cozy little Christmas Baby Emma mini stocking by Candamar Designs. This one's by Deborah Jordan Byron. And then I found the second one there. This one is Cozy Little Christmas Harvey mini stocking, same designer, and they were both $1. So I thought that would be cute to work on for Christmas. Sorry for the crinkles. So I found some very nice Delica beads in a white. Thought they would be good for pearls and another mermaid maybe, and that was got a whole tube for $2. I got a bunch of floss. This is a 100% cotton, hand painted, and it looks like it's a pearl cotton in the color Pussy Willow. And it is a Watercolors by Karen, and I got this for 25 cents. So happy about that. I got a spool of Soie d'Alger. Does it say? Yeah, in the colorway 3442 for 25 cents. This is another silk on Arvois, another Soie d'Alger by Krennic. In the colorway 921 for 25 cents. Yep. This is a hand-dyed cotton. I'm not sure, that seems like what the color is. I'm not sure what the brand is. Another 25 cents. Another hand-dyed cotton has the colorway 139. Not sure what brand. This one has, it says it's a Needle Necessities Floss Overdyed. Again for 25 cents. This is colorway 126. So maybe these other ones are Needle Necessities overdyeds as well. Another overdyed. This one, the tag says 110 for 25 cents. Pretty blue. I found a spool of Krennic for 25 cents. This one is a 002 high luster. Pretty common. Different signs. I found this. It's a 12 weight rayon metallic, but it's got like a, seems like it wouldn't have the scratchiness of a Krennic, but it has some sparkle to it. So I'm interested in seeing, it says it's a Wonderful Glamour thread. Seeing how, what I can cross stitch with this to add some sparkle to it. I got this whole thing for $2. There is some thread in there. There are some clear beads. There's 4 packages of Mill Hills, 3 packages of 2011, which is used in a lot of different designs, and 1 package of 123, which I know is used for like pearls. I don't believe it's the same. No, this is not this one. Let me double check. What were the green beads? Okay, no. These were 03021. That's different. But I think those beads are the same pearl beads that are called for in Waiting for Ships, if I remember correctly. So I'm sure they're used for some of the other Mirabilia mermaids. So all that for $2. Happy about that. And then I got this. It is a Rainbow Gallery Splendor Silk. I don't know what color it is because that part is torn off. But there's plenty of it left, and I got this for 25 cents. It's a pretty pink color. Oh, this is, sorry. The color is down here. It's a Splendor Silk 1025. So, very pretty pink. So I got that. I grabbed this. I can't remember if I just found it in the fabric or if it was, I might have just found this in the fabric, but it looks like it's a even weave or a linen. I guess I can't really get it close enough to the camera to where you can tell that, but it's a nice white. I could dye this. I can see what I can possibly stitch on it. This was interesting. It looks like it's Ada, but it's very soft. It's already sewn up to be like a tapestry or a wall hanging of some kind. It is completely white. It doesn't seem like it's stained or anything. And it's really, really long. Like I said, it's almost like a curtain almost. And I'm wondering if I could maybe stitch like a poster size on this. And it looks like it's about 14 count. So I have no idea where this came from, but I think that is amazing. And I'm not sure if I should stitch a mermaid on this, or if I should do something for my husband, or do like something more like video gamey, TV show, anime. What do you think? If you had a poster length, I really need to measure it out to see like how big of something I could fit on here. But I got all that at, oh, and this was like, I think this was in the freebie pile, so I didn't even have to pay anything for that. So for less than $8, that was my haul from that thrifty craft store. Excuse the crinkles. And then my local craft store, or local crafty thrift store, I bought some fabric. I'm going to make some pillows when I get around to actually finishing some of my things. I figured this would be nice to do some spring finishes. It's got some pretty garden prints on there. Some butterflies, some birdies. So I liked that. I also got this. I feel like it's got like a nice grid to it, nice pattern to it. So on something eye-catching but not completely plain, that would be a good backing fabric for a pillow. I also grabbed this. I figured this could be good for finishing a lot of sea-themed. It's sparkly. It's got like a silver detailing to it. So it's got those nice blues to it too. So I got those 3 fabrics. I also got this. It has 2 Karen Collection flosses included. Actually, it looks like maybe there's 3 there. 2 of the same color. And it's got a pattern with the Ada. I don't know if this was an estate sale or a stash donation. This is from Butternut Road. And the pattern is Rose Sampler. When this you see, remember me. And then it has a alphabet and some nice detailing, rose detailing around the edges. So maybe that would be nice to stitch up. I don't know if I'll do it on this Ada or if I'll swap it out, but it looks very pretty. And it comes with all the threads. And it was $2. So for the pattern, the threads, or the specialty threads at least, and the fabric, can't go wrong with that. And I believe the rest of this, yep, it's just DMC. I got 2 full coverage charts for my birthday from Unconventional X-Stitch. I think one is called Magna's Lair, and the other one is something to Tranquility, but it's like a mermaid in a bathtub, and they're both designed by Miss Holly on Unconventional Cross Stitch. If I figure out the new editing software and I can insert pictures, hopefully I'm showing them to you now. But I bought like 130 different skeins of DMC. They have these there. Again, somebody donated these. Most of these are like either they're the full skein or they're a good bit of the full skein. They're labeled. I'm assuming they're DMC. They feel like they could be DMC versus CXC, just based on my personal experience, but I'm not sure. And they were 10 cents each. So lots and lots of DMC. So I'll be putting that into my either master set or using it to cut up my other full coverage charts for hopefully more charts once I get more progress on the ones that I currently have on the go. And that is all my haul. Haven't gone crazy with like buying birthday stash or anything like that. Mo Sale is having another grab bag sale the first weekend of July. So by all means, if you're interested, go check out Mo Sale's Facebook group. And she sells her silks floss skeins, really, really pretty colors, really, really affordable prices. I have a whole collection at this point. So I might be getting some more of her grab bags. Not that I necessarily need any more, but they're so pretty. They feel so nice. So yes, if you are at all interested in stitching with silks, I highly recommend her Facebook group. She also has an Etsy store if you want, like, I guess to order now. But she does have that sale coming up. I already went through my stitch counts. Plans moving forward, I do want to get a significant progress on, well, I want to keep up my stitching on my Angel of Elegance. I want to get more progress on my stitch. I want to hopefully get enough progress to where I can start my Tilt and Crafts chart. I can insert, or I'll try to insert a picture here. It's called Deep Blue Sea from Tilt and Crafts. It is a beautiful mermaid. I already have the fabric. I'm going to be stitching it on. I believe it's a 28 count white even weave. I'm not going to use a dyed fabric just because if you see the picture, I like the white background that she's on in the artwork, so I want to replicate that in the stitching, kind of like what my dragons look like. I don't know if I'm going to be gridding it or how I'm going to deal with that, or I haven't quite decided how to stitch it yet. But yes, that is the goal, to get to that, and I'm also hoping to finish my Sweet Summertime. I've had that as a whip for a little bit. I am making modifications to that, but before I even started the modifications, I need to finish stitching the Brewster as called for. So I'll be working a bit on that. I did post about my birthday sal, which was mermaid. I think the hashtag I used was Mermaid Summer Sal. I appreciate everybody who started stitching on. It didn't have to be a new start. It could have been a on-the-go whip that was ocean themed or mermaid themed. You know, anything related. Some people were stitching stuff with fishes. Some people were stitching ocean themed things. I feel like I tried to give it as broad, or beach. I even said it could be from the beach or something, coastal like that. And lots of people said they would join me and said they participated, so I really appreciate it. If you did stitch on it, feel free to tag me on Instagram so I can follow along with your progress, or you can even let me know down in the comments here below, and I'll be happy to check out your Instagram if you've been posting pictures on there, and see what you're stitching on. Thank you again. I want to shout out Katie, Jeremiah's mom here on Flosstube. I'll tag her in my description. She gave me the recommendation to use InShot. That's what she uses. She uses the free version of that to edit her videos. I'm looking for a different editing software than CapCut because recently I saw some conversations in the community that CapCut was going to be updating their terms and conditions where they were going to be retaining copyright on any material that you edit in the software. And obviously I don't want to do that. I want to retain my copyright. I don't want to just give over the rights to anything that I'm going to record or any progress that I show or any pictures of my progress that I show. So I want to stop using that software altogether. So I will definitely try to edit this video with InShot and we'll see how it goes. Thank you for that recommendation. I am woefully behind on Flosstube. Summer has started and I've been doing all the things with all my friends and all my family, and I have not been keeping up with Flosstube. But I did finally get around to seeing Cross Stitch the Globe's interview with, I think it's the Primitive Needle. Is that the designer who, like, the designer had passed away tragically and then the family wasn't interested or wasn't in the right mindset to continue her work. I believe they recently put out an interview with the daughter, who is now digitally transcribing all the patterns, and hopefully seeing options to reprint or start printing those again. So I know a lot of people are excited about that. I know she was really popular with the people who liked her patterns, and she did a lot of Halloween themed patterns. So if you're interested at all in any of that, I would go over to Cross Stitch the Globe's channel and check out that interview. I just watched it today and it was very good. They asked very good questions and it was a very good conversation to tune into. So yeah, I think that's my last mention at the moment while I catch up. Hopefully your summer is going great. I'm super excited and looking forward to the 4th of July fireworks. I live very close to a military base, so I'm excited about the show they're going to put on this year and spending time, you know, lighting up fireworks with my friends and family. So hopefully you'll find a way to celebrate as well if you're here in the States. And if not, I hope you're enjoying whatever season you might be in, and finding time to get some stitching in. Okay, until next time. Oh, real quick, I was planning on attending the Lindy Stitches virtual event for Midsummer, but I just found out that we have plans already that weekend, so I'm not going to be attending that virtual retreat. Dang it, I had a goal to attend all the virtual retreats she's doing this year, but unfortunately I will have to miss that one. So I guess the next one I will be attending will be the Harvest Moon one that she's doing in September. So unfortunately I won't be there for that one. If you do go, by all means, let me know what I'm missing out on. I'm really interested, and there seems to be like a little something different about each of the events, so I'll definitely have to see if I catch it next year. But yes, I will not be attending that. If you do attend, feel free to post a recap of what you liked about that event, and so I can get an idea of what it was like, and hopefully I can attend next year. Okay, that was the last bit of information I could think to ramble on about at the moment. So until next time, happy stitching. Bye.